A key dynamic that's hard to avoid in the controversy over Ground Zero is the influence of money. New York politicians who want to keep the Freedom Tower project going have gotten a lot of money from developers, builders, and assorted other people with a vested financial interest in the specific Freedom Tower plan. Influence peddling, of course, is not new. Here in Washington, for example, there is a harsh spotlight now being put on the banks and how their contributions to key politicians has influenced bank bailout policy. In the midst of all of this, a very high-profile actor is saying enough and is adding his voice to calls for campaign finance reform. You probably know Sam Waterston from NBC's Law and Order, where he's been targeting the bad guys for years.
It's out of the question. Mattson didn't just steal from drug lords. He stole from middle-class citizens, charities. There is an orphanage in Staten Island that has to shut down. If we make any kind of deal with Mattson, outraged citizens will tear this building down, brick by brick. Just forget it.
And a gangster gets away with 2 murders?
Find another way.
Joining us now is the actor Sam Waterston. And Sam, so good to have you. I want to first talk about the importance of campaign finance reform in a minute. But first, you spent a lot of time in New York. What's your reaction to the latest problems at Ground Zero?
Well, my feeling is that I hope that the time that it's taking to do this is all going to turn out to be a way of getting it done right. And beyond that, I really don't know how to choose between the different solutions that are being offered.
Explain why you believe that campaign finance reform is such an important issue, regardless of whether it's New York or Washington or the bailouts. Talk about that.
Well, I think we've all understood for a very long time, I certainly have, that the things that I care about that are touched on by politics are hugely affected, either in perception or in fact, by the way people have to raise money in order to run for office. I was just in Washington, D.C. I met a representative of the freshman class who explained to me that she, before she even was sworn in, was getting her instructions about how much money she needed to raise, and it amounted to about $90,000 a month, $80,000 or $90,000 a month, for the 2 years before the election campaign, the re-election campaign. This translates into an awful lot of time that is lost to work, and is also lost to a thing that's dear to my heart, which is the building of understanding between representatives across party lines, because they don't have any time to talk to each other, much less even to talk to members of their own party, because they have to go and raise money all the darn time.
What specifically are you asking Congress to do, and what has the reception been for you?
Well, first of all, I should say that I'm the guy who's pointing. I am not even the messenger. I'm pointing at the messenger, and I hope people will pay attention to the 8 organizations that are backing this bill. And it's a bill. It's not an idea. It's not pie in the sky. It's being introduced this week by important members of the Senate and the House, Senator Durbin in the House, and Senator Larson in the Congress, and these are, and with bipartisan support. And it's a rare thing for the House and the Senate to introduce a bill together, and it's a rare thing for it to be backed by the leadership like this. So we're talking about a real possibility, and what it would do is it would, for a citizen such as myself, it would remove the question, which you were talking about on your segment about AIG, about why Goldman Sachs is getting this and why AIG is getting that, and who knew whom and who was in touch with whom and whose votes were influenced. You might think that a senator or a representative had a good idea or a bad idea about resolving these questions, but you wouldn't have to wonder whether they were on the take.
Well, Sam, I know that celebrities often get ridiculed for taking on certain causes, but I hope that's not the case with you. You're a good guy, and we really appreciate you coming on the program tonight, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.